welcome to my very first YouTube video. I am going to be documenting my personal finance journey, including my very first budget, trying to reduce my spending, and then down the road getting into investing. I will also post some lifestyle videos, including Unemployed life. A little bit about me is that I live in Chicago with my boyfriend. It's just the two of us. We don't have any pets, we don't have any kids or anything, and we've only been here for 2 months. A couple of years ago, we decided that we wanted to make a change for us, because why not? And we started working towards that, and we finally did it this year. I quit my job in mid-November, and I'm only starting to look for a job now that we're fully settled. I wanted to wait to get through all the crazy to get started, and it's finally time. Today's video is going to be an April 2022 budget with me, and it's going to be the steps that I have taken to create my very first budget. So let's get started. The very first thing I did was tracked all of my spending for Q1. It wasn't an ideal time to do that because I had a lot of one-off situations, but it had to get done. I tracked every single thing that I purchased or spent money on. March's numbers are not accurate. This is only until March 20th. But I will do an updated March spending video. The second thing I did was I analyzed the spending categories and tried to look for one-off events that were, affecting those categories and made them the way they were. I know I will always have things come up month after month, but I plan on including those things in my budget. So in January, we moved out of an apartment in Utah. We took a 2-week international trip to go visit my dad. We had a couple of nights of just hotel living here in Chicago. We had to buy some furniture, well, just the couch, I think. So January alone was a really crazy month. The 2 weeks in our 2-week trip was actually mostly paid for by my dad and his wife. They took us, paid for all the food and transportation and Airbnbs and hotels. And so we're really thankful for that. I think we treated 2 times, maybe 3, maybe, just so we could contribute some, but they were kind enough to really take us and show us around their country. And yeah, February was also a crazy expensive month. We moved into our apartment. We had to furnish that apartment. We had 1 visitor mid-month, and then 1 visitor at the end of the month, that kind of overlap between February and March. And obviously with visitors, you're going out to eat more and doing more activities, so that did cause, a little bit of higher numbers, but it doesn't fully justify what some of these numbers are. March, again, we had that visitor for the very first part, the first 3 or 4 days of March. And then we purchased a ticket for an event that's coming up in April, so that was kind of pricey. And we do have a long weekend trip coming up this coming weekend. And so those are some of the numbers that affected March's budget. Aside from that though, my shopping is an issue, as you can see here. This would be things like clothes, shoes, undies, whatever. And then hobbies is also an issue. I know this is part of shopping, but I wanted to create a separate category to see how much I'm actually spending on Japanese stationery. And now this actually includes YouTube things. And it's a lot. I'm not proud of myself, but I am trying to cut back on my spending. The third thing I did was determine areas that could be cut out or reduced. And basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna try to be as strict as possible in my April budget. I do have some events coming up, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But my very first step to try to spend less money is cut certain categories out, and that will be the shopping category, of course. I don't really need anything. If I find a job that's in office or a hybrid schedule, then I might need to buy some clothes at some point, like almost immediately after, because my clothes are so like old and worn out and just they don't look crisp. But until I find a job, I'm not going to be doing any shopping at all. Health, I'm not going to budget for. I really hope nothing happens, knock on wood, but if it does, I do have some money in my HSA from my previous job, so hopefully I could cover it with that, and if not, I will just have to pay for it out of pocket. Beauty, I'm not going to spend any money on. I haven't been spending any money on it, so that's good. Beauty, like I do need a haircut really bad, but it's something that can wait till I hopefully find a job. And then I'm really not sure how much I will have to budget for it. In Utah, my haircuts were getting pricey because I'd been with the same girl for so long. Her haircuts were up to $70, each time. I can only imagine it'd be even more here. Hopefully, more than like 100 or 120, but I am gonna try and find something a little better priced. Home, I will not be spending any money on home. We had to spend a lot in January, February, and March because we were trying to furnish our apartment, but that is for the most part done. We're not trying to buy things just to buy them. We're gonna see if we actually want them or need them. So that's why it's taken a few months, but I think we should have everything, and if not, it can wait till I have a job. Hobbies, I will not spend any more money on as much as I want to. I'll have to give myself a budget once I have a job, but for now, that's something that can be cut out. And then finally, the move. That is fully paid for. I don't see what other expenses could be lingering. There's nothing. It's fully paid for. So that budget is going to be completely cut out. The fourth step that I took was to look at upcoming events. So I will get this out of the way. And this is my April bills calendar. Basically, I indicate when the bills come out of my account and what events I have coming up. So the color coding is a little different. It's just kind of for my reference. Once I get a job and start having money coming in, I will color code differently, but for now, this is what I'm doing. Orange is for bills that I share with my boyfriend. We split everything 50-50. Pink are bills I split with my sister and my boyfriend, so we each pay a third. And then purple are my own personal bills. The gray down here are events that we have coming up in the month that I need to make sure to budget for. So it's a little pricey, but I'm thinking May and June will be a lot less pricey, a lot less expensive, I guess, than April. So for my boyfriend's birthday, I like to go a little hard because it's just the two of us, but this year being unemployed, I really can't. I am still allocating $150 for his gift. I mean, I know that's a good chunk of money, so I'll be able to get him something good, but I was just hoping to do something more. And then $150 for the outing. That includes dinner, somewhere of his choosing, and then maybe if we go to the aquarium or a jazz bar or something. On the 15th, the movie Fantastic Beasts comes out, and I have to go see it, and I have to go see it the first weekend, and I don't go to the movies super often, so when I do go, I tend to go a little hard with the snacks. So I am budgeting $15 for my ticket and then $15 for my portion of the snacks. Hopefully it won't be that much, but if not, I will at least I'll have the money available for that outing. At the end of April, we have tickets to go see a comedian. We did buy the tickets in March, and they were, I want to say, like 90 or $100, so it's kind of pricey. I am budgeting $50 for that evening, $10 for like transportation in case we need it. I usually would take the train or walk, so I don't think we'll need to, but just in case it gets too late, or if it's raining or something, I don't know. And then $40 for food, for dinner beforehand, or a drink, or snacks, or whatever. And then the final thing that is not like on the actual calendar is a playoff ticket. We love sporting events, and we try to not really go to many like regular season games and try to go to at least one playoff game. So we'll for sure be going to either a Bucks game or a Bulls game. I'm not sure when it is. That's why I didn't put it in the calendar. I just kind of left it up here as a note. And I'm hoping $150 will be enough for a ticket. I know like in Utah, $150 for like an upper bowl ticket was plenty for a playoff game, but I don't know what the situation will be like here in Chicago or if we go to a Bucks game. So hopefully it's enough. It's worth it to us. We really love sporting events, and there's really nothing quite like the playoffs. So it's worth spending the money, even though I don't have money coming in right now. And the final step that I took, we'll actually have to jump into my spreadsheet for, and I'll do a screen recording of that, so I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so this is the Google Sheet that I use to track all my expenses and to budget. The first box is the income summary box, and you would obviously put all your paychecks or different sources of income here. I don't have anything to put there because I'm not working and I'm currently living off of my savings. In March, I had sold some items on Fashion File. I really didn't know how much to expect, so I was really pleasantly surprised when I got so much. It's something I've been meaning to do for like 6 months, and I never got around to it out of laziness, but I finally last month decided to make an appointment, get a quote, and ship them out. So it went really smoothly. I would do it again, but I don't have anything else. I decided to just rid myself of all that. In February, I had filed my taxes and got my state and federal returns, so I put that in the income category, and then I have nothing for January. So we'll skip over the income box and go into bills. The very first one is rent, and like I mentioned, I live with my boyfriend. We split everything 50-50, so the numbers that I'm going to be entering here are my half of the bills. Our apartment's actually a little pricey. It's $1,118 just for the rent. Like, looking back on it, we should have picked something a little cheaper or in a different area, but I really do love the apartment and the area, and hopefully it won't feel as expensive once I get a job, but it's okay. What can we do? Then the utility fee and internet is something that we pay our building, and my half is $60. And ComEd is our electricity bill. We're on a budget plan, and $49 a month, so my half is $24.50. The Peloton, this is the Peloton membership. When I bought my bike, I paid cash for it. So this is just for the monthly access. It's $41.83. And then my cell phone bill is about $74.71 a month. That can vary by a few cents, but it's very minimal. And that's it. Oh, I do have some subscriptions, and that is reflected down here. This comes from the subscriptions tab. You'll see like what the subscription is, a description of it, how often it's paid, and how much. Netflix, Apple One, and Hulu are the three things that I split with my boyfriend, my sister, and I. So we just take the total, divide it by 3, and they send me the money and I'll pay it. But this amount right here is my third. Then I have a sticker subscription that I plan on canceling after April, a quarterly subscription for some stationery that I have paused, and I might cancel. And then we pay our renter's insurance annually. We pay that in January, so I'm covered until next January. Okay, and then we go into the like variable expenses, and this is where I need to look at my numbers for the previous months. So I spent just under $30 in groceries for January, so that's kind of a wash. February was $229, and 2/3 of the way into March we're at $202.46. So I'm giving myself $250 for the month. This amount is kind of high, but coming from Utah, I was expecting to spend more money on groceries, but we came at the exact same time where just inflation has been out of control. So it's every time I go grocery shopping, it's sticker shock. So I'm really hoping I can stay under that $250 budget for the month. This is something that I will have to like work on keeping it below that. So it'll be a bit of a challenge, but like a doable challenge, I hope. All right, so shopping, I am not giving myself anything. This is one of those things that's easy to cut out. I just have to cut out from the budget. I just have to stick to it, and I'm gonna try my hardest. Dining out. So dining out, January was just under 370. February was just under 320, and 2/3 of the way into March we're at 143, but we have a trip coming up, so that will go up a lot. So I am giving myself $200 for dining out. It's something that still allows me to go out and try new restaurants with my boyfriend, but still make me think twice about ordering things. Like I've stopped ordering like sodas because it's like $5 plus tip plus tax and stuff, so it adds up quickly. And yeah, so it'll make me think twice about ordering certain things and maybe choosing a $1 sign restaurant versus a $2 sign restaurant if we can find any. So $200 for dining out. So for transportation, I am going to give myself $40. When we first moved here, we put $100 into each of us into our Venture cards, and I think we're down to like $10 or so each. So I am spending quite a bit on transportation, but now that the weather is nicer, I'm going to try and walk more places, like walk to restaurants as opposed to taking the train or the bus. So I'm going to see if $40 works out for a month. If not, we'll have to increase it later. So nothing for health, nothing for beauty. Home, let's see. In January, we spent $885. In February, $680. And 2/3 of the way into March, $280. And I, for the most part, feel like we've purchased everything. And if anything else can wait, obviously we've lived 2 months without it, so it can wait a little longer until I have a job. Miscellaneous, let's see. Miscellaneous, I'm thinking $50. in case something comes up, I have a little bit of wiggle room, because I am one of those people that, like, if something comes up early and I spend all the money, then I'm like, whatever, I'll just start over next month and then, go crazy the rest of the month. But I really want to try to avoid that. So I'm giving myself a $50, I guess, like buffer, whatever, for the month. In January, I spent $230. In February, $207. And in March, 2/3 of the way in, we were at $16. And some of those ones are kind of high because I filed my taxes. I did like a $75 GoFundMe donation for something that was really important to me. What else? Oh, I shipped some things to my sister, things like that. So I don't think I'll need it, but we shall see. Stationery, I'm completely cutting out. I spent $76 in January, $166 in February, and $118 in March, 2/3 of the way in. So no more, no more shopping for anything. I'm not allowing myself to spend money on that. Entertainment. So this is going to be a pricey one this month. In January, I only spent $11. February, $147. In March, $115. Again, with a third of the month left. But in April, I do have a couple of things coming up. What were they? So we have the Fantastic Beasts movie, The Secrets of Dumbledore. That's $30. Mark Maron, I'm allocating $50, and then the playoff ticket, $150. So that brings us to $230. I am gonna give myself an extra $20 in case we want to go bowling or something. So not super restrictive, but that's it. So $250 for entertainment, including all those events that I went over earlier. And then the final category is $300 for my boyfriend's birthday, including the gift, dining out, and an activity. So we're about $1,400 for bills and almost $1,100 for like variable expenses, which brings us to $2,500, so $2,448 in expenses that I have coming up for the month of April. So, wow, that number's a little scary since I have no money coming in, but who knows? If I get a job, I could potentially get an April paycheck if I get a job early on, but it's not looking good, so I don't know. But that's it. So thank you so much for joining me on my very first video. I'm so excited to be here, and see you next time.